I've been going to Italy so often that I've seen things in Italy, and when you see them here, you say, well, that's like I saw it there. But that's a hard question to answer. I know that, speaking only from the perspective of the Carando company, we really worked very hard to go to Italy and bring back recipes and bring Italian product to the United States, to make it as authentic Italian as we could. And like I say, I started in that company in 1957, and starting in 1964, I was going to Italy 2 or 3 times a year, to sausage plants and salami plants and equipment plants and spice people, working the network to try to create items, bring spices over, create items, techniques that would strike the American people well, the American market, but in the meantime be as authentic Italian as we could get. So it's in our case it was a concentrated effort, and a constant study as to how to take artisan type products, because it's one thing to make one, it's one thing to make 2, but if you have to make 100,000, you have to be able to take that artisan product and replicate it many times and have the 100,000th piece be the same as the first one that you made. It's not an easy job to do. Some people have not been successful in crossing that line from artisan to production, but I think the Carando company over the years has done a pretty good job of being able to do. In my estimation, yes. In my estimation, you really have to do that. I mean, anybody can create something and baptize it Italian, but I think that's the wrong way to do it. I mean, if it was made in Italy, created in Italy, and you can bring it here, then I think that's authentic Italian. And that was the perspective that we used to try to bring our products up to that standard. We had entered into an agreement with Armour and Company, which at that time had branch houses in the major cities in the United States, and in each of those branch houses they had an individual called the dry sausage specialist, and so they took on our products, our cacciatore, our abruzzese, our casalingo salami, and our mortadella as a line extension for them, and they were selling it under the Carando label. And so that went on for a number of years, and that was a big step forward for our company. It probably doubled the production of our plant at that time, which was a very good. He worked very, very hard on mortadella. That was a very complex product for him, in terms of the color had to be just right, couldn't be too dark, couldn't be too light. The flavor balance had to be just right. I mean, we had secret ingredients that I would go to New York and with the car and get it and unlabeled and bring it in, and it was unbelievable. I mean, that was an item that was his baby, and he really he brought people over from Italy to help him work with him on that product, because he was an individual that was he was very demanding, not in a loud, verbose way, but he was very particular, and he had a very unique set of taste buds, and he could taste flavors in products that normal folks like you and me couldn't pick it, but he could pick that flavor, and that was a very important thing for somebody in the salami business, because he wouldn't stop until it was satisfactory to him. My father had an interesting way to talk. He would speak in parables sometimes, and he'd tell you a little story to get his point across. And one of the things he said was, what you really have to do in order to run a good business, you have to have your foreman and your managers able to use their finger. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, if a manager doesn't go like this, you're not going to do that today. This is what I want you to do. You're not going to do that. If a manager starts saying, no, that's okay. If a manager starts saying, that's okay, when does it stop being okay? So that's how demanding he was, and that's how he would describe it. You have to say, no, you're not going to do that.
And see, he would demand that that's the line, that's what you do. And as a result, he was the shipmaster, and he set the course, and that was the course. Don't vary off that course, because when you do, I don't know if you're 5 degrees, 10 degrees, or 20 degrees off, and then you forget about where you came from. You can't go back.